Alright. You're live. I'm going to continue sharing on Discord.
I just got a notification that you're going live.
Yeah. Alright. So we're good? Alright, we're ready to talk. So I want you to introduce this, so you know more about it than I do.
I don't really know how to introduce it other than they're both in deep shit and I no longer support them.
You need to speak up.
Ah!
You're being quiet.
I don't know what to say.
Well, tell them what you told me.
I don't want to repeat all that.
We'll make it shorter. Give them a basic gist.
Basically, Jeffree Star was allegedly behind the whole attack against James Charles, and he basically tried to ruin James Charles' career, and he's holding someone's traumatic experience, starting with R, ending with E, over a bunch of YouTubers' heads, and he's using it as blackmail, and using it as receipts, basically, instead of someone taking it as, it's someone's traumatic experience, but he's using it for his own benefits. Then Mr. Shane Dawson over here, I believe, helped him with the whole James Charles thing, and I believe that he is not innocent at all in this, even though he tried to play innocent. I believe he had way more involvement than he wants to let on, and he wants to hide what he's been doing, basically.
Well.
And he's also, a lot of his old, very extremely controversial videos are coming up now into light, into surface that I didn't even know about. Alleged jokes that, in my opinion, go way, way too far than they should have.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say.
So let's start with the first video. This one is by Blair White. Awesome. Awesome woman. So here we go.
I love Blair White.
Okay, so I have started and stopped this video 13 times because I am that nervous and scared to make this video. In the past, I've definitely not been scared of speaking against powerful people or people with more influence, money, resources, etc. than frankly I'd ever hoped to have. But for some reason in this instance, I most definitely am, which probably tells you something. And to be frank, as I'm sitting here, tells me that this is probably the exact right thing to do. If I'm this scared to do it, then I probably should be doing it. The idea of doing this video is something that I've gone back and forth on, and that has weighed very heavily on my conscience for about a month, preceding a very disturbing FaceTime call I had with Jeffree Star, who this video is about, as well as other people this video is going to be about as well, which I'll bring in. I was put in a very bad position by Jeffree Star that I don't feel like I deserve to be in, to where I was told things that I'm either silent about and then therefore in a way complicit with some really messed up crap, or I speak about and then put my shit on the line. And I don't feel like it's fair for me to be in that position. And I finally broke yesterday and talked to my childhood best friend about this. And I said, should I be talking about this? I'm scared. She said, very plainly, and she's very removed from YouTube and YouTubers and this whole stuff world. And she was very honest and said, if this is the right thing to do, if this is where your heart is, then there's no other question. All the consequences, this person having, influence or power or whatever, it doesn't matter. If it's the right thing to talk about, it's the right thing to talk about. So I'm just good. So contrary to what I think, I have never had Jeffree Star, you're not a friend, and blocked me on Twitter because I was very bad behavior. And a year ago,
Hey Derek, the audio on the computer is all messed up again.
I don't know how to fix that.
It's all staticky.
That's
I don't know why.
Well, I can't fix that.
Here is my opinion. Jeffree has no receipts. I think Jeffree was loving the downfall of James, and now that it's backfiring, he wants to dip out.
Like
And I keep saying you can't put your toe in and then your toe out. He
Huh?
didn't put a toe in. He like body slammed his way in, tried to ruin
I don't know how
his
to
life,
explain it. Pause
and now
the
he's
video.
saying, I'm in a really bad place. It's a really dark place for me, and I don't.
Get over here.
What?
I need to show you what is wrong. Quit saying what and just listen to me.
It sounds like it's from the mic.
We really need to use the computer mic.
The mic is no better. That mic is no better.
Oh my god, Derek. Will you stop arguing for once in your life?
I'm not arguing. I'm telling you the facts. That the mic on the computer is no good. Unless this is even in that mic. Properties. Yeah, it's that mic. So, yeah, let's continue.
I want to do this. And first of all, sexual predation is not drama. As a survivor, I don't support drama. So you can specific about how you can contact me. Reach out to me via DMs on Twitter. And the reason you reach out to me is this. If you keep this in mind. I typed out Jeffree's first name in response to someone on Twitter. They replied to me on a main feed saying, I'm thinking about making a video specifically about Jeffree's involvement with the doggy vanity because it's really shady. He then was in my DMs with a witness to, in my opinion, put out a fire. He didn't want my video to be made, so he came
Okay, Derek, they can't really hear that video at all that you're playing.
and this by this
You can't?
No, I'm trying to explain to you. You can't really hear it at all, so you can't even hear what they're talking about.
With my video, said that a bunch
You need to get this fixed.
I can't fix it.
Okay, then the video needs to be scrapped because no one can hear what any of the other videos are even saying. Like, they can't hear it at all. See, people are even saying they can't hear it.
Okay, I'm trying to fix it right now. Like, that's what I'm trying to do.
of the things that were out there were fabricated. A lot of the receipts I planned on using were fabricated. Was very convincing about it, and then a few days later went on Chris Hansen, went back on all of that, and basically showed himself to lie to me. He said a lot of the things were fake, and then went back and said they were real on Chris Hansen. But again, that is just point A. This is not the point of this video. That's how we came into contact. So, however the conversation proceeded, it got to him asking me, so what's your opinion of James Charles? And keep in mind, a year ago, he called James Charles a predator and then refused to back it up with the receipts he promised he had. I told him my honest view, which is one that I was public with a year ago when it happened, and said, I felt like if you were going to call him a predator and promise that you had the receipts, you should have proven it and you should have provided those receipts and you shouldn't have tried to back out of it. I didn't feel that was right. He said, okay, I respect it, but do you want to know the truth? And this is the point where I wish I would have said no, in a way, but in a way not. He then provided me with receipts of a voice memo from a YouTuber who was allegedly sexually molested by James Charles, and it's credible. It's a YouTuber, it's credible. It is not my place to out this YouTuber's name at all. I have privately reached out to this YouTuber and said, hey, I'm a survivor myself, because I am. And I should never have been told this, but I want to let you know it's okay to go public with your story. It's okay to be heard, or even just to talk to me if you need to, because I am a survivor myself. So I'm in shock after being given this information by Jeffree, and then Jeffree proceeds to tell me, James will never attack me because I have this on him. I have shit on everyone, which he has said publicly before. I have shit on everyone.
Because I have dirt on everyone, and they know to keep their mouths shut.
I don't view something like this as gossip that you hold over someone's head or whatever. This is something serious. This is a crime, and just the fact that he's blackmailing people with this is disgusting. And the fact that I am expected to hold on to this information as well. And just the shocking fact that this is our first interaction ever and he's telling me this, I'm like, how many other people know this and have heard this voice memo?
They're asking our opinion on the situation.
Okay.
Go ahead and give yours. I'll be right back here in the bathroom.
My opinion on the situation is basically, I think it's extremely fucked up how Jeffree tried to tear down a teenage boy all because he felt intimidated by him. You gotta think about it. Jeffree, I feel, if he did start all this just to take James down, which is what it really seems to be, And it's what I believe that he tried to do. I believe he tried to take down a young man, even if all of this is just alleged, okay, about the sexual things that James may or may not have done, okay? But minus that, Jeffree still tried to take down James. He did it because he was intimidated by him. Because he was a fresh new face in the beauty community. He was growing extremely fast. He's very talented at makeup and art and what he does. And I feel like Jeffree felt very threatened by that. I felt like he was very intimidated by James, so he tried to end James's career, basically.
Sounds like somebody we know.
I feel like he tried to tell every YouTuber that he possibly could, like, dirt on James, alleged dirt that he has on James, okay? I feel like he really tried to end him, and even when James had stated he almost committed suicide because of this, both Shane and Jeffree just said that he deserved, quote-unquote, a slice of humble pie. It's absolutely ridiculous. All I feel like is Jeffree was very intimidated by James, so he tried to take him down. And then the other problem I have that is a very big problem is that he's using someone else's trauma to profit and gain off of. A traumatic event that's not even his story and not his trauma that he lives with or dealt with or anything, okay? If it is true what James did, it's not his story to share. It's not tea. It's not receipts. It's not something to play with. This isn't games. Someone got hurt, allegedly. It's someone's trauma, okay? A painful experience that they went through. It is not for you to gain more following and for someone else to gain less following or for you to gain more money off of your videos and makeup. That's not...
Hey, here's a comment. I agree, because everything was okay and James even looked up to them. So Jeffree got scared by it. He's been a fan of James since before he was a big name. It's sad that this is still being struggled along.
Exactly. James really looked up to them, even I believe he looked up to them even before he got famous.
Yeah, blackmail is a crime. They're saying, another comment says, if it is true, him using it as blackmail is disgusting and sick.
Exactly. And he's telling it to random other YouTubers like Keemstar and shit like that, when it's not even his place to tell people. And he told it to Blair White as well. I don't really know what to say other than we need to continue. Or else I'm going to keep going in circles and circles, ranting about the exact same thing over and over.
Yeah, let's continue.
And I have a whole different problem with Shane Dawson. A whole different problem.
So we're getting to that. We got several videos to go over.
We will eventually get to that.
Yeah, we got several videos to go over, so...
And know that this is the truth.
It sucks because I really love
What? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jeffree. And I really loved Shane. I liked their content. I liked their makeup. And I wanted to get their pig purse. I wanted it for my birthday and all this stuff. And now I don't want anything to do with them.
Well,
not until this goes full circle. I won't support them. Even if the allegations are true about James or anything like that, I still can't support what they did, you know?
Honestly, I don't think I could support them at this point because what they did was kind of fucked up. And I probably won't be able to support them until they make amends for those things.
Exactly. This isn't tea and this isn't drama. This is someone's traumatic event. And that's not something to use as, as tea or receipts or anything like that. It's an actual thing that happened to someone that probably messed them up quite a bit if it is true.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
first interaction with you and you feel comfortable enough to tell me this, thinking that I'm just going to be in on this little game and complicit and he. No. That's something serious. And yes, it did take me a month to do this video, but that's because I have been scared. This is something serious. And I want to be very clear, this is not my place to out this person, you know, the victim's name, because this is clearly their story to tell. But you guys have to understand the position I'm in. If I receive credible information that a very famous, very powerful YouTuber is a sexual molester or predator, but am I complicit with helping cover up for a predator by not saying that at least that much is true? That's the battle that's been going on in my head. And that's why I reached out to this person privately, the alleged victim, and offered my support. And I highly encourage them to go public. I highly encourage them to tell their story, because one thing I learned from the years it took me to speak up about my own instance of rape is that one thing that's very hard for me to personally live with is knowing that there might have been people after me that were victimized by the man who hurt me because I didn't want to say anything. And if you think it couldn't get any worse, it most definitely does. Jeffree then revealed to me someone else, a very famous YouTuber, who, yeah, I'll use the word raped someone. Did he provide me with receipts of that one? No.
I just read their comment. I agree. They need to own up to all this messed up behavior, and really apologize, not a half-assed apology. Exactly, and I feel like, especially with Shane Dawson's apology, I feel like it was very rushed. He wasn't really thinking, and I don't think he was really being sincere in that apology, and he didn't even address in that apology the things that people are really pissed off about. Like, he did touch on the blackface that he did and things like that, but he didn't touch on all of the really nasty comments that he was making towards children and minors and things that he was telling them to do. He wasn't addressing that. He was basically saying, hey, it was a different time back then, I don't agree with how I am now, and all this stuff. And he even basically admitted in the video the only reason why he really did it is because Jenna Marbles came out with an apology, and she's basically left YouTube, and she wasn't even being attacked for anything, okay? She just felt bad because she made similar content to Shane, nowhere near as drastic. Back when YouTube started, she was another one of the OG YouTubers, Derek. And she even left YouTube because she felt so bad, because she felt like even if people weren't attacking her now, that she needed to address it then, because she knew eventually someone would be offended by it, and that she didn't want to be the cause of someone being offended by it back then or now, of her old jokes that were made, and that she felt really bad for it and that she was sorry. And the only reason why Shane Dawson came up with this half-assed apology to begin with, he barely even addressed anything. He basically, you know the whole meme, hey, can I copy your homework? Sure, just change it up a little bit thing. That with Jenna Marbles, okay? And he didn't really address like the things people are really freaking concerned and talking about right now. And it didn't come off sincere at all. It came off a little bit defensive and rushed and panicked in a way. Hers was much more calm, clear, and collected, and she actually showed like small clips of her videos that she are pretty sure would cause concern. She actually showed them to show people, hey, this is what I'm talking about, and I'm very sorry for this, basically. And Shane didn't do any of that shit. I feel like he didn't address even half of the shit that's going on with him. And he basically just combed over a bunch of stuff, and it was very rushed, and it seemed very not very well put together. And that's all.
Yeah, right.
Do I personally think it's credible? Yes. And part of the reason why I'm doing this video is to come to you guys and ask, if you guys know this information, what would you do with it? Because I don't know. I don't think I can go to the police on someone else's behalf. I'm scared to say names. I'm scared to reveal what I know. But at the same time, how do I hold on to it knowing there's more victims potentially? If someone's just getting away with it. Like, where does that leave me as a person? What would you do if you were made privy to certain information about certain people that are out here every other day, like, you know, getting money and sponsorships and accolades and public, you know, adoration? What do I do? And one of the reasons I definitely decided to do this video and made me so sick is that Jeffree went on a podcast recently and teased the same receipt, the same voice memo from the YouTuber who was allegedly sexually molested by James Charles to FaZe Banks and Keemstar.
So if you want, we can pause and I can go in another room and play Banks what I have on my phone, and he can determine if he would have sent the same tweet.
So you're running around telling these people like it's hot, fun, gossip, whatever, and like I said before, it's not to me. It's serious to me. And you may have every other one of these YouTubers as your little puppet and you're in their ear doing whatever. I'm no one's puppet. You can't put the battery in my back. You can't silence me. I know you paid to silence people. You can't silence me. And I'm just not going to be that person, especially not if you're going to make me aware of crimes and then be like keeping me in on this little secret. Like, no. I'm sorry, no. A lot of people I know are a fan of Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star has a lot of people by the balls. Let's just be honest. A lot of people have Jeffree in their ear constantly in their DMs, trying to manipulate them or get them to run with certain stories. He's paying off people for silence. He's paying people to say certain things. Never me. But I'm just disgusted that he expected me to be one of these people that he can just drop these disgusting bombs on, and I'm supposed to be like, funny tea, funny gossip. It's really not. The stuff that Jeffree does behind the scenes, manipulating people, I know so many people who have told me, Jeffree's in my DMs trying to get me to say this or do this or that. I don't know why he trusted me to be one of his little pawns, but I'm really not that bitch. Recently, the owner of the clothing brand Dolls Kill fell into some really heavy backlash and controversy, I think for posting a pro-police thing during all the protests and riots. Bella, be quiet. It's my dog. And wherever you fall in terms of that whole debate, that's separate. But regardless, this brand owner was getting a ton of backlash. The whole world was coming down on them, comment sections, everything. And in this person's moment of weakness, Jeffree decided to DM them saying this: "Hope you have a beautiful morning and get a rubber bullet in the middle of your f***ing head." Who says that? That is disgusting.
That is messed up.
What?
It was about the rubber bullet thing. God, he just literally DM'd
Yeah,
her
I
that.
told you about that. He just DM'd her all because she basically said that she supports, non-police brutality. And actually, I support no brutality at all. I don't like the whole violence on either side of both the police and of the rioters. But you don't just go randomly DM someone saying that you hope that they get shot in the head with a rubber bullet all because you don't agree with them.
It's just...
You don't randomly tell someone you want them to get shot in the head with a rubber bullet because you don't agree with something that they said.
Yeah, like, it's just fucked up.
That is monstrous. That is seeing someone in pain and wanting to compound on that pain. Who says, I hope you get a rubber bullet? Like, who says I'm holding blackmail against James Charles for sexual predation? Who says, by the way, this person raped someone, but keep it quiet, Blair? What? I know Jeffree feels like he can play with it, and maybe he feels like all these YouTubers are in his back pocket, and everyone's scared of him. And you know what? I was scared. And even making this video right now, I'm scared. When I go to hit the upload button, I'm going to be scared. But I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to post it. One other thing. I recently posted on my Instagram story, basically like alluding to the fact that I wanted to do this video. And here's what's very important about my Instagram. Jeffree does not and has never followed me there. However, within minutes of me posting this story, or I didn't even tag him, just like
Why
before.
Why is she afraid?
It's
He was
really
FaceTiming
messed
me.
up how Jeffree has made everyone so scared to even
Why
speak
are they
about
scared?
him.
Why? That's
I
my
don't
biggest
know,
question.
Because of the influence he has.
Well, because he has an influence doesn't mean a
he's
damn
actually
thing.
a very powerful person. He has a lot of influence online and things like that.
Yeah, he has influence online, but what does he have against you? Like,
On Blair, I don't know.
what does she have against her?
Blair has done. She's talked about a bunch of controversial topics. Even I saw one person who is a Jeffree Star fan, and Blair talked about this in a video previously before about how someone took her out of context when she had a charcoal face mask on and said that was her doing blackface. When she even said that was literally just a picture of me with a face mask on. Those charcoal face masks?
I know. We use them at home.
And she also never said anything in the context of the picture. I believe it was on Instagram. And you know how you can say a little something about the picture. Nothing was even racist about it. It was just her, doing her skincare routine. And that person kept trying to say that was Blair White doing blackface.
But seriously, I don't understand what Jeffree could actually do to hurt them.
I don't know.
didn't answer because I didn't want him in my head again, and I didn't want to be manipulated again. Okay? So I just think it's kind of weird that, I don't know if he pays someone to monitor people's social media that he's like worried about or trying to control or whatever, but for him to FaceTime call me within minutes of me posting this on my story when he wasn't tagged and doesn't follow me, and keep in mind that's how he contacted me the first time on Twitter, I typed his first name in response to someone, that's crazy to me. That's sociopathic, that's controlling, that is trying to, again, use people as your puppet. This last month of being scared to say all this was not healthy for me. I was disgusted with myself, and it's over. Period. So to answer what I think will be an important question, I did not record, because I'm not a grimy bitch, the FaceTime call. So the evidence that was made clear to me about James Charles' victim, I don't personally have on my phone because I'm not entering a FaceTime call with someone, setting a screen record or screenshotting or whatever, okay? And you are going to have to take into account that he has teased this to FaZe Banks, to Keemstar. Go ask them if they've heard the voice memo, for real. And also take into consideration what I would gain by lying about this, because there's literally nothing. If it came out that I made up this crazy elaborate bullshit story about what he told me, pretty sure it would ruin my life for lying about something this crazy. So believe me or don't believe me, but that's all I can say is my truth and what happened in this scenario. So in closing, I just want to say I have reached out to the victims that I have been made aware of by Jeffree, offered my own personal support, and offered my encouragement of them going public. All I know is my opinion and experience with Jeffree, who I believe tried to manipulate the fuck out of me, is blackmailing people on topics of sexual predation, in my opinion needs help, and is far from a healthy, stable, good person. And I just don't want to be one of those people anymore that is scared to speak against Jeffree fucking Star. Done. See you guys in the next video. Oh, and if my body's found dead in a ditch somewhere, it's Jeffree Star. Hey guys, so I just filmed this video, get off, start editing, look at my phone, social media for the first time all day, and I see a lot of stuff coming out about Shane Dawson, with the Smith family angry over him making inappropriate jokes about Willow Smith when she was underage, and just like a lot of very questionable humor and statements that I hope are humor. And I'm opening my DMs and I'm seeing a lot of people asking me to address it, for the simple fact that it is public knowledge that I'm friends with Shane. I think my most viewed video ever is with Shane on my channel. Obviously, I'm going to be asked by my entire subscriber base to address that because that's my friend, and how can I have a channel where I, you know, go after, like, predatory behavior and predators and not address that that's coming out about someone that is a friend? And I just have to say that I most definitely don't condone any of that. I wasn't aware that that was a thing, that those jokes were a thing, that those statements by him were a thing. They go beyond the limit, and you guys know, I am the first one to be like, it's comedy, stop being so offended. Some of the things are just way too far, and if no one's laughing, then it's not really a joke. So, as hard as it is, and as much as I feel like a very intense loyalty to Shane because he's done so much for me, and he was one of the first people to give me a chance, and one of the reasons why people even know my name, how can I have a channel going after predators and about predatory behavior and not disavow that? So I just want to make it completely clear that I would have addressed that in, you know, the prior filming that I did for this video, but it was happening and coming out on Twitter literally as I was filming it. And I am most definitely going to say I don't condone it, that I completely disavow it, and it'd be very hypocritical for me to be silent on that. And honestly, I'm done being caught up in anyone's f***ing shit right now. Like, I'm done being the ear for psychopathic Jeffree Star. It happened once and it was too much for me. I am done, like, having this impenetrable loyalty to people who get themselves into messes and then I have to address it, and no. I'm over it. I just want to go back to making the videos that I make.
You're fine.
It was very hurtful to see the stuff coming out about Shane as someone who is an advocate for survivors, and I kind of can't even believe it. So that's what I have to say about that, because I know that if I don't put that in here, that's going to definitely be, and rightfully so, a very, I don't know how to have the type of channel I do and just pretend like that's not coming out about him right now and that he's not deeply involved in all this stuff I talked about too. So
Alright.
That's just that on that. It's very sad. It's very ugly.
Alright, that's enough of that one. Let's go to the next one. This one is by The Tea Spill. And it's focusing on Jeffree Star. Shane Dawson, not Jeffree Star.
Exposed. Exposed. You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
Hey,
Last
I
week,
love
Shane
your
Dawson
channel.
announced he was leaving the toxic beauty community and put out a long statement saying James Charles needed some humble pie. Unfortunately for Shane, that statement didn't sit too well with people and things have gone downhill from there. People have been digging up old clips from Shane's vlogs, podcasts, and Twitter, and the things that are being found are really disturbing. And that's saying the very least. People have also been pointing out that Shane Dawson has done more blackface in his YouTube career than actual makeup looks with his palette. After being silent on social media for a week and deleting his statements from Twitter, Shane finally sat down and addressed some things on camera. The reason I say some things is because a lot was left out. This video was long and there was a lot said, so let's unpack it together. To start off this video, Shane mentions that he was inspired by Jenna Marbles, who also put out a video this week holding herself accountable for her own racism in the past. This didn't sit well with a lot of people because it kind of seemed like Shane saw how much support Jenna got after her video and thought if he made a video similar to hers, he'd get the same support. Although I will say the one big difference between Jenna's video and Shane's video was that Jenna held herself accountable before she was asked to. The first thing Shane addresses is his racist past and doing blackface. Shane acknowledges that doing blackface was wrong and he says he hates the person that he was. He mentions that he's scared that he might have made his young audience at the time think it was acceptable to make racially insensitive jokes because he was doing it. It's no secret that Shane's audience was mainly young, impressionable children, and the fact that that was the kind of content that they were consuming is really scary. He mentions that he's since been doing research on the history of blackface and
Here's
he
my
now
opinion
fully
on
understands.
racist jokes. Here's my opinion on racist jokes. You give it? People are going to hate me for saying what I'm about to say. Racist jokes should be made in the comfort of those who are okay with it. Not made publicly.
You already know my opinion on racist jokes. I don't like them at all.
Yeah. So,
Yes, in fact, believe it or not, for people who don't know this, we may be married, but we do have different opinions on things.
yeah,
And
like,
we can still get along and be married.
yeah, we do. We do have our disagreements. We will not deny that. I said we do get our disagreements. We will not deny that. But my opinion on racist jokes is, if you're gonna make them around people who are comfortable with them and are okay with you telling those jokes around them.
And make it actual jokes. Meaning they have to have like a punchline and stuff.
There is the dissection of a joke is
I'm talking about
The
jokes in
initiation.
general. I still don't like racist
is
jokes.
the initiation of the joke, the exaggeration, and then the punchline, which is the actual fundamentals of the joke.
And why it's so hurtful. Shane also addresses the clips that have been going around the internet of old vlogs with his younger cousins having highly inappropriate conversations with them. If you guys have been on Twitter this past week, I'm sure you know exactly what clip I'm talking about. In Shane's video, he mentions he actually reached out to his aunt years back because he felt guilty about the clip. Apparently, his aunt had no problem with it, and she agreed that it was actually funny. Shane's ex-girlfriend Lisa was also in this clip, and she posted her own statement on Twitter saying, "I want to address the 10-year-old clip from Shane's channel of myself and Shane talking to his cousin. It was absolutely inappropriate and not funny. Watching it back now, it makes my skin crawl, and I am so sorry I was a part of this gross bit. Before I came here to say this, I thought it was more important to reach out to both Shane's cousin in the video and her mom to apologize in real life. After all, they are the ones that were most affected by it. They were both gracious and welcoming. They accepted my apology and reassured me that they both remembered that moment was indeed a planned and consensual joke. I have grown over these past 10 years as a creator and a woman, aiming to bring content that inspires and brightens an often bleak world. I promise to always do better and be better. Now jumping back to Shane's video, he says that a lot of the podcast clips that are going around have been edited to make the conversation sound worse, but still admits that the topics were wrong to start with.
What was that?
I said, I've already watched these, so you need to give some of your commentary.
I know, I'm just trying to listen in, really. It's mostly me, like, trying to pay attention to it.
There was another audio clip going around from one of Shane's podcasts where he talks about how he would murder this person who kept calling him racist on Twitter. He goes into very graphic details in the audio clip, and hearing it is actually really disturbing. An influencer named Francesca Ramsey actually called Shane out for his racism when he first started YouTube. Shane went back and forth arguing with her, and his fans then started attacking her and calling her horrible names because of it. Now, it's believed that this disturbing audio clip from Shane is actually about Francesca, although in Shane's video this week he claims that it's not about her and says it was about a white woman who he had beef with. He mentions that this doesn't make what he said in the audio clip any better and says it's still wrong. Now, let's get into the Twitter statement that Shane put out last week. Many people in the beauty community were really offended by what Shane said in it. Shane pretty much called the entire beauty community toxic when 90% of the creators in the beauty world aren't problematic and just love makeup. It's just like when you go to a drunk.
What?
Can we pause for a second and go give her a bottle?
Well, can't you make it? I've been making it.
She probably has one in there that's still good.
Alright, then give it to her. You said I gotta react to these anyway.
No, my skin really hurts and I don't want to move. That's why I don't want to move because my skin.
Drama channel and you scroll down their videos, it's always the same people over and over and over again that are getting into drama. Shane's statement really grouped everyone together, when really there are only a few huge influencers that truly make this community toxic.
Huh?
Can you please go give her the bottle?
Why can't you?
Because my skin hurts.
How did you get sunburned again?
I went outside and sat in the garden for like an hour.
Why did you sit so long in the sun?
I was bored and I wanted to see my vegetables. I'm proud of my garden. She sounds happy to see you.
My knees hurt.
My skin hurts. My legs actually got sunburned today. Hopefully they turn into a tan, because I got very pasty being a hermit crab.
Don't talk to me about pasty unless you get as white as me.
Okay, I got pasty for my normal skin tone. Maybe she needs something to eat.
She has food.
Not in her crib.
You want me to bring her a cookie?
I think she'll like that. Or is it too late at night for a cookie?
I'm pretty sure it's okay. It's not like we have anywhere to go.
Still, it's not good for her sleeping schedule to get messed up.
The schedule is never correct. Anyway, she is an odd one. She got excited for that cookie.
Well, she likes it when Mama makes things for her.
Yeah. So.
She likes it when Mama cooks for her.
Yeah, I do like these these white chocolate macadamia cookies.
I made them.
I know.
The real beauty community also felt like Shane never was a part of the community to start with. The truth is, anyone can make and sell an eyeshadow palette if you have the funds and resources to. That doesn't make you a part of the community that spends their entire life creating looks and testing product. Shane acknowledges this in his video this week and says he was never a part of the community despite claiming he was leaving it. He says that he still does enjoy makeup and claims that the majority of his sub box on YouTube is all smaller beauty gurus. He says that his statement was meant to be funny, but but it obviously didn't come across that way on paper. Shane then goes on to talk about James Charles and the whole humble pie comment. He says for weeks people were pressuring him to address the Tati and James situation, and then people started claiming that Shane must have plotted the entire Bi Sisters video. He says it's not true, so he sat down to write the statement on Twitter and realized it came across very angry. Shane says the main thing he regrets from that statement is saying that James Charles deserved a piece of humble pie. Shane actually ends up apologizing to James Charles and says no one deserves what happened to him last year. He also admits that he has no place to decide who needs humble pie when he has a history of problematic things himself. Finally, Shane kinda talks about one thing that people have been wanting him to address: his friends. More specifically, the more problematic ones like Jeffree Star, Trisha Paytas, and Tana Mojo. The reason I say kinda address is because Shane goes over this very quickly and admits
Did she call her
holds his
Tana
friends to a
Mojo?
lower standard.
But that was, isn't it Tana Mongeau?
I don't know how you pronounce her last name. Honestly, if I'm being for real, I have no idea how to pronounce her last name.
I wouldn't blame her if she said her name wrong as a joke, but like, because we see shit like that all the time.
I don't think anyone, even Tana, knows how to say her last name right.
Oh god, I'm remembering TanaCon like 2 years ago.
It was about a year ago. It was a disaster.
God, it was. TanaCon was terrible. People overpaid just to show up in a building that was over capacity. People got seriously burnt that day. All kinds of stupid shit. And they got cheap ass gifts like these Tana condom bullshit. Tana condoms? What was her idea with that?
I have no idea. Her whole shtick is being... I don't want to say any words like hoe or anything like that because that's not accurate.
Say it, Aurora.
No, her whole shtick is to be like kind of...
Slutty?
No.
What? Sexual?
Yeah.
So slutty.
But messy sexual. Kind of like Kesha.
Okay.
That's how I can describe
Here's just
it.
there's nothing wrong with that in my opinion, but you kind of projected that in the wrong way with TanaCon.
What do you mean?
The way she did it.
There's nothing wrong with being a woman
Well,
and messing around with whoever you want to.
Well, here's the thing.
The whole problem with her is that she likes to also do a lot of bad things, like get drunk and drive or high and drive.
Let me finish what I'm saying. A lot of those fans of hers were underage.
Yeah.
And that's not
Why
okay.
was she giving out condoms to them to begin with? They don't need those. They shouldn't even be thinking of that stuff.
They shouldn't. Teenagers is kind of a gray area.
You shouldn't be promoting.
Yeah, you shouldn't be promoting teenage sex.
Yeah.
It's
And
still a gray area, though.
And I know abstinence isn't realistic.
Like,
I mean, at least she's promoting, safe sex, which
Yeah.
is extremely important. I promote that more than abstinence.
Because abstinence doesn't really work.
Not for all cases.
Yeah, some people have more self-control than others.
But I also feel like we need to teach younger generations that you don't need to throw yourself around to seem cool or popular or important.
Like me and you were each other's first.
Yes.
And
But I feel like a lot of kids and stuff nowadays feel like that they have to sleep around or be in relationships and stuff when you don't really need to focus on that stuff. At that young of age, you need to focus on who you're going to make yourself out to be and stuff like that. You don't need to worry about that stuff. That's not what makes you popular or cool or a good person. It's your personality. And you don't have to do those things or be in relationships or sleep around in order to be like a person who's, I guess you could say, popular. And popularity isn't even that important, honestly.
yeah, honestly,
It's so insignificant, and it eventually just fades away. It goes away in time. For the popular kids, you may be popular now, but 5 years from now, you're most likely not going to be. It doesn't have as much of an importance as many kids think it does. Why are we talking about this though?
I don't know.
Get back to Shane Dawson. Are you going to talk about what you feel about this situation?
I don't know how I feel about it. Truth be told. There's
You need to talk, Derek.
I know I need to talk.
You keep eating cookies.
I'm sorry, I'm hungry.
Standard than
Tell
what
my
he holds
stomach to
other
stop.
Are
influencers
you
to.
gonna
He
speak?
admits that
You
it's
just
wrong.
turned playing again.
Well, I'm speaking.
Like, how do you feel about what you know so far?
I don't know. I just said that.
You don't know how you feel about how Jeffree tried to ruin a teenager's life? Or
Yeah, that's
anything like
fucked
that?
up, but I don't know how to feel about everything. Because there's a lot of info that we don't know. And there's only somewhat info we do know. Like, what part of this is true and what isn't.
I don't know what this has to do with anything, Derek. I just was asking on your opinion.
I know that. I'm talking.
Continue. We
But
may
says he
never
thinks
know
he's
the
attracted to
full
broken
truth. We
people
may
because he
not
wants
ever
to
know.
help fix them.
I'm aware that I hold my friends or people I care about to a lower standard than I hold other people. That's wrong, and I'm so sorry. I think I get attached to people who have a heart, and maybe it's covered in a lot of stuff, and maybe they have a lot of issues, but I almost feel like I am attracted to other broken people.
Shane's video is currently trending #1 on YouTube, and people have a lot of opinions on what's been said. I noticed a lot of people leaving comments under his video that want him to get back to making videos with Morgan, Rylan, Garrett, and Drew. One comment even said, "I miss the old Shane who used to go to haunted hotels with Morgan, Garrett, and Andrew and make conspiracy theories." Other people in the comment section are telling him to drop his problematic friends like Trisha and Jeffree. One person wrote, "Bring back the spooky boys. We don't want Jeffree in all of this drama." Now obviously these must be hardcore fans.
Okay, I can't agree. I want the old Jeffree back.
Huh?
People are saying that they want the old Jeffree back, which I kind of agree.
I feel like
Not
the
Jeffree,
old Jeffree was
not-
worse.
Not Jeffree.
Shane.
Shane. Wrong. I keep
But-
confusing the two right
But
now.
if we go back to like the Shane from the beginning, when all these jokes were going around and stuff like
I'm
that.
talking about the spooky boys.
Oh yeah, all the spooky people and things like that. Yeah, with that, I feel like once when he got involved with Jeffree and things like that, he kind of took a bit of a darker turn.
Yeah.
Not to mention his very shady past that he does need to definitely bring up.
Like, hey, I'm open about things that I've done. I don't hide the things that I've done. I used to be a thief when I was younger, and I was not proud of that. I also was an extreme pervert in high school. I'm not proud of that part of me. But hey, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got with my wife. So, you been hearing what I'm saying?
All I did was listen to sad music and isolate myself in my bedroom reading manga and watching movies. We were not the same. I was the kid who was always too afraid to, like, get into trouble.
Right,
didn't
here I
like doing
was,
anything
and
wrong.
then here I came coming in like, hello! And then I just come in like Herbert the Pervert, like, give me that ass. Why? It's true. That's what I was like as a teenager. Honestly, if it was done to any other person other than you, I would have been in jail and been put on a list, probably. Let's be honest.
Of Shane writing these comments, because I think after all the information that's come out about Shane, you really need to ask yourself, is this a
We only have 4 left, and we probably need that to pay when we get paid.
Well,
type of person I want to keep supporting? I asked people over on Twitter how they felt about Shane's video, and so far there have been a lot of amazing responses. It seems like most people realize that this isn't an apology that's theirs to accept, and believe that changed behavior speaks louder than words. Here's what people had to say. Re-apologizing for old tea covered 10% of the serious current tea.
what?
It said my arms hurt, I don't like moving them. They're all
Moving is inevitable.
What?
Moving is inevitable.
What?
I said moving is inevitable.
I know, but I hate sunburns. I'm a big baby.
It's time to grow a pair of ovaries, I guess. I don't know.
I'm a big baby when it comes to sunburns.
But if I like how that's what I go with. Grow a pair of ovaries.
I like how I have a high pain tolerance to anything else except sunburn.
You know what my sister used to say instead of no balls?
What?
No ovaries. Oh God, I'm gonna be right back. I need something to drink. These cookies are drying my mouth out.
Will you bring me in? Oh, you're getting water?
I'm grabbing one of these shakes.
Can I get a water?
I wish we had chocolate milk.
The shakes are kind of like chocolate.
It's not the same. Karen, hey, make more of that chicken soup.
There is some left over.
Could you make me a bowl?
Sure.
Sorry, we had this chicken and rice soup today. It was fucking delicious.
Refuses to distance himself from his problematic posse. Not my apology to accept, but I want to see him actually have actions to grow, support, and work with people who deserve it, and stop associating with people who refuse to grow, like Trisha and Jeffree. I'm glad he's apologizing, however, as a white woman, is not for me to accept. But I will say that if he continues to associate with people who've hurt fans, communities, or just people in general, then his apology means nothing. I can't accept an apology like that until he proves it's not just words. Until he raises the bar for people he allows in his life and shows he's serious about it. I can't trust it being as sincere as he tried to be. Actions will speak louder than words here. Since Shane's video dropped, more and more old videos from him keep resurfacing, and it seems like they keep getting grosser and grosser. One of the main things I really didn't like about Shane's apology video was the fact that he glossed over a lot of these videos and blamed them on having a bad childhood. These videos were so bad, it almost felt like every single one needed to be acknowledged. The video we're going to be speaking about right now is the one where Shane does something totally disgusting with a poster of Willow Smith. I'm not going to be showing the video, but I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. When this video started going around, people were truly disgusted, and I honestly don't think even his stans would be able to make up an excuse for him. The video eventually made its way to Willow Smith's mother, Jada Smith. She tweeted saying, "To Shane Dawson, I'm done with the excuses." Now imagine a mother logging onto the internet and having to see a grown man doing something so horrible to a picture of your underage daughter. Her daughter would have been maybe 11 at the time that video was taken. 11. Willow Smith's brother, Jaden Smith, decided to speak out against Shane Dawson as well. He tweeted, "Shane Dawson, I am disgusted by you. You sexualizing an 11-year-old girl who happens to be my sister is the furthest thing from funny and not okay in the slightest bit." Even Willow Smith's boyfriend, Tyler Cole, spoke up against Shane Dawson. He tweeted, "I'll knock that white boy out for real." Jaden Smith replied to Willow's boyfriend and said, "It's bad for him right now." Even Kid Cudi has retweeted both Jaden and Jada's tweets about Shane Dawson.
Okay, here's this. I know this is speaking bad towards Jaden Smith, because Jaden Smith is a fucking idiot sometimes. But when Jaden Smith, even Jaden Smith thinks you're a fucking dumbass, there's a problem.
Can you get me my water? I forgot it.
Like, here's this. I make a few pedophile jokes, but they're in good taste, usually.
No, you make like pedo bear jokes. Shane told kids to twerk. There's a big difference.
Yeah, like, I don't do shit like that. That's fucking extreme. Fucking sick.
Shane told kids to twerk on camera for him. There's a big difference. And said
No.
he Googled pictures of naked babies. Yeah, there's a big
What
difference.
is the point in that? What was the purpose in that? The content of that. That's what I want to know, is the baby thing.
What?
What was the context of the baby thing?
He was talking about how to justify pedophilia. That's literally the entire context.
Shane has also been deleting old videos off of
And
his
he called
channel.
the 6-year-old
So far, he's
sexy.
deleted over 1.2 billion views worth of videos.
So he's deleted a lot of videos, I see. Trying to get rid of the evidence. This is why I don't delete my videos, Aurora. There's a purpose for that. It shows I'm not a coward. Oh shit. This one automatically played. I didn't mean for that to happen. But we're going to the next one, which is by Jacqueline Glenn. And this is on Shane Dawson and all the fucked up shit.
Now, are you on your period right now?
What?
I'm trying to get answers.
How old are you? I'm not gonna give you anything. So close.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
She's on her period,
feels very.
right?
No, what?
Are you? No, you're not on your period? You bleed.
The internet has become a very sad place lately. So Shane Dawson is being canceled right now. I feel like every video I've been making recently has been about someone getting canceled for something. Sometimes it's deserved, sometimes it's not. In this case, I do feel like he has a lot to answer for.
I know twerking is
Shane
insane.
Dawson's channel is getting canceled?
Oh.
I have no clue.
That would mean you have to get a real job.
Huh?
That would mean you have to get a real job.
Oh, I love you too. Oh, I love you too. No, shut up and twerk. Twerk for us.
Okay, I'll be honest, the way he said that was kind of funny, but but it's not okay. If it was a...
You know another thing, I know this is probably nitpicky to some, but I also don't like how Shane Dawson always liked to, especially nowadays, say like, oh, I'm so poor, I'm so gross and so poor. First of all, that makes it seem like all poor people are gross then.
What is that?
Second of all, he's not poor, he's a multi-millionaire. Sure, he came from bad roots, you know, and he grew up poor like me and you.
Mm-hmm.
However, you're not poor anymore. You're a multi-millionaire. You're nowhere close to being
You crawled
poor
up
anymore.
further from the dirt than we ever did, so...
Your brother's yelling at video games again.
You need to go tell him to stop.
Let's continue.
Alright.
Oh, here we go. She's
Shelly.
moving furniture.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah. Yeah. Now tell her to show herself.
Stop it, Shaylee.
Inappropriate jokes, although I'm not condoning them, are one thing, but being inappropriate to children, whether that is on video chats or in person, that is all something very, very serious. And I'm going to go through these clips and examples and address everything that he is under fire for right now. He made an apology video called Taking Accountability. It has over 6 million views right now. It's #1 on trending. The like to dislike ratio is quickly shifting in a direction I'm pretty sure he doesn't like. Although I have seen lists of reasons as to why people don't like his apology video, I can sum it up in 3 major points. First of all, he said the video Jenna Marbles made apologizing inspired him to make this, and he did make it after a Twitter thread of all these video clips of stuff that he's done that's inappropriate went kind of viral, so it's not as though he decided of his own choosing to kind of address this. He saw Jenna Marbles doing it, and then he was under a lot of fire because of this Twitter thread, and then he did it. So it wasn't something that he just wanted to do out of the goodness of his heart.
Okay, well, this video is 40 minutes long. Eugenia Goody. What?
Oh yeah, back when Shane Dawson did that whole video with Eugenia Cooney, and Eugenia, you know, she was friends with Jacqueline for a while, and Jacqueline is actually the one who called to get her put into the mental hospital to get her some help before she starved to death, literally starved to death, and to help get her away from her abusive mother. And basically what happened is all of that was undone by Shane. Because Shane did not cover the fact that Eugenia's mom is extremely abusive to her. What she is extremely controlling of Eugenia. And Eugenia is now acting like, oh, everything's better now. I went to the hospital once and now everything's better. And now she's back to losing weight again. And all this crap. And both Shane and Eugenia made it out that Jacqueline was just bullying her.
This one's 30
No,
minutes
Jacqueline
long.
tried to save her life. This is Blair White after the whole video that she made, the one that you already watched. This is what she put later on Instagram.
Coffee spill. She did a Cartoon Network theme.
I just went live, and I know that it is a lot to take in, and I don't know what's going to come from this, but I feel there are certain things that I should probably elaborate on here, because I know not everyone watches the entirety of YouTube videos, but I feel you probably should for this one. I just want to say that I see everyone sending me messages asking me to address the Shane stuff, particularly the clip.
You know,
justifying.
going back on the Eugenia Cooney, you know, even Sky does Minecraft, back when he was still, you know, like, OG about himself. He was very offended by all that stuff, too.
What Shane did with Eugenia?
No, I'm talking about with all the, how people kept...
Oh yeah, especially with, like, Onision. I mean, he was full on mocking her eating disorder. That's not okay. You don't harass someone because of their eating disorder. You know?
Yeah, like, even, because Sky, he actually suffers from bulimia.
Yeah.
Food just disgusts him sometimes when he looks at it, and that's kind of his thing. He's actually been to the hospital several times for it.
Pedophilia, etc., and I understand that it's something that I need to 100% address. I pride myself on being a loyal friend, but there's a certain point which betrays myself if I allow it to be perceived that I endorse that or condone that, and I really, really don't. Certain things can absolutely be explained away as humor, and maybe in his head that was humor, but that one in particular, and then the Willow Smith thing, was like, dude. And I get it, I have a channel. Like, I attack people for predatory behavior way...
Friends posted this, and now all of our family friends are like going off in the comments, just having a good old time. You need to come over here to see them.
Okay, let me read them.
No, we can't say it on YouTube. Because I don't want their names mentioned.
I won't say names, I'll just read the comments.
Stop.
Okay. I want to suck a fruit roll-up off a man's dick until it dissolves. What the fuck is wrong with your family? Brie Marie!
Jared!
Oh shit. Sorry.
Stop.
Sorry, my bad.
This is why I said don't do that.
Sorry, I was just reading the comment. I didn't think of the name, it being a name. I was just reading it. What was with that comment?
Derek, are you serious right now?
I'm sorry, like they know who that is.
Less severe than that, so it does look crazy on my part if I don't say that that was bad just because that is a friend. So I'm here to say that was really bad. You know, particularly the podcast clip endorsing pedophilia, he kind of just went on, and it was really bad. And if the Smith family can't forgive him for the Willow Smith thing, I don't see why anyone else can explain it away as just funny or a joke. So I want to say that if you guys want me to do a video, I totally will. I'm highly, highly considering it, because how can I not with the kind of channel that I have? But it's very painful to see that coming out about someone that I liked. Today's video was by no means easy. I am not a drama channel. That is not to shade drama channels, but that's really not what I do. But like I said, there comes a point where if you're gonna let me know about crimes and expect me to be silent, I can't. I don't know if Jeffree took me for someone who hears that kind of thing and is able to not take action, but I think normal people, when they hear about these things and are shown receipts of these things, they kind of have to act on it. I can't imagine keeping that in. I mean, I can't imagine. I did keep it in for over a month, but it's made me sick. And
Still, wanting to suck a dick off a fruit roll, suck a fruit roll off someone's dick. What the fuck was with that? I can't get over that.
There's a post anyway, and then everyone in the comments started freaking out, and then another one of her friends popped up and was like, "But have you tried it though? Because let me tell you."
Oh my god.
And everyone was like, "Girl, why would you say that?" And then the one friend just pops up out of nowhere and was like, "But have you tried it though?"
It sounds like a Twitter. It sounds like a tweet that I would make as a teenager. Except it would be about sucking dick then, because I wouldn't even come out then.
Came to this point, and I don't regret what I said. What I said is 100% the truth in my experience, and it is what it is. You know, I am resentful that I'm put in a position where I have to speak out about these things. I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer to not know what Jeffree told me. I'd prefer to not have to
Hold on, guys.
condemn a...
Must be adult. Yo. You call me? What do you need? No, I'm not. I mean, well, that's kind of the point. We're taking a break. Alright, back to this.
a friend for this stuff that's coming out, but here I am. You know, if I'm gonna put up a clip of Peaches endorsing pedophilia or go into all the things that we see on Instagram, big and small, that are predatory, obviously I can't be silent about this, because if I do, then I might as well just delete my channel now, right? All this just sucks so much. And today is not a good day for me. So I'm kind of losing it because I know I did the right thing in my heart, but it hurt so bad to speak a word against Shane Dawson because he's done so much for me. And if you would have told me a year ago I had to say any of the things I said about Shane, I wouldn't have believed it. But I have to stand by what I think is right, and I have to lay my head down at night. And this is, people treat it like it's tea, but this is all very serious subject matters. Jeffree is...
Okay, so this video is basically her being upset that she had to speak out to her friend, Shane.
Yeah, she felt bad that she had to speak up about this.
I kind of get that at that point, so... Yeah, this is hurting more than just a few people. This is hurting a lot of people.
How come she's never said anything about your friendship? Because I have dirt on everyone, and they know to keep their mouths shut. And they know to keep their mouths shut. And they know to keep their mouths shut.
Okay,
another day, another
Okay, this video is by Sebastian Williams.
drama. What's up, guys? I'm Sebastian Williams, and in today's episode of Keeping Up with the Beauty Gurus, we have Miss Jeffree Star, of course. Now, guys and girls, I know it has been crazy. Yes. But guys, I cannot make this up. Like, I literally cannot make this up. Jeffree Star has been exposed yet another time, and it is starting to get really dark again. So 2 days ago, Tati started tweeting out lyric videos. James Charles is keeping silent. Jeffree Star is being exposed left and right. So one of the YouTubers that spoke out is Blair White. Now, if you guys don't know Blair White, she's a very famous YouTuber on YouTube, I guess. But she is also friends with Shane Dawson. This is where things are starting to get interesting. So yesterday, a lot of people were shook when she started to upload this on her story. I was recently manipulated in a huge way by this man. I was told information by him that's been making my stomach turn for almost a month. Now I'm watching him allow my friend Shane be destroyed over some shit he caused. I'm scared to speak up, but I feel disgusting, holding my tongue. I spoke with Shane during the Tati Jeffree James drama. He was devastated that it happened, and he expressed genuine shock at the extent at which Tati came for James. Did Jeffree orchestrate it? Probably. Did Shane, in my opinion? No. He told me that no one deserved what was happening. That's what I know. Contrary to popular belief, I've never met Jeffree. We are not friends, nor have I ever been on a PR list. After some drama channels ran with a narrative that we were friends, we finally spoke in one FaceTime call. What he told me during that call and how he manipulated me is sickening. Girl. Jeffree Star is a monster. Quote me. So I found this later.
Well, don't look at my foot.
And it actually says, I don't have shit to say to you, Jeffree. Release the receipts you keep teasing and get the heat off Shane's back, or I'll do a video myself. I mean, guys, like, I'm not making this up. She's a very famous YouTuber. Like, people are literally coming out left and right, and it is starting to get crazy how she's claiming that Jeffree Star manipulated her. Now, so according to Mrs. Blair White, she thinks that Shane actually has no real involvement into the scandals and actually showed remorse during the Jeffree James Tati drama, which is especially interesting because when he uploaded his apology or statement about the situation a few days ago, he did say that he agreed with what Tati said. It's especially interesting to see someone take Shane's side during these times, and she's actually very vocal and says that Jeffree Star is the main manipulator behind everything. And she even claims that he manipulated her during a FaceTime call. Now, of course, we can only speculate what that is, but I am assuming that he was spilling tea on James Charles. It is really interesting to see her call Jeffree Star a monster, which are very big words to describe someone. Now, just when you thought that that whole situation was crazy, another beauty guru spoke out. Now, she's also pretty well known in the beauty community, and her name is Cassie MUA. Now, Cassie MUA is actually close friends with James Charles, and she spoke out against Shane and Jeffree. So let's take a look at what she had to say on one of her recent videos. I find it quite the comedy that Shane regrets putting it in the trailer more than anything in the world. Funny, he didn't seem to have morals when he privately spoke to them before blasting it for millions and millions of people to speculate, when James kindly asked him to not post that trailer because it would reopen wounds that he was still trying to heal from. Oh yeah, I remember that. I was right there when he got that text from Shane saying he was still going to post it, and he did. And she also said, I usually stay quiet about these topics, but facts are facts. Okay, Miss Cassie MUA, I see you. I'm starting to lose my mind. So according to Shane, he did in fact reach out to the individuals who were inside the trailer of the Jeffree and Shane series together. And according to Cassie MUA, James did not consent him being in the trailer. But according to Cassie, Shane literally put James in the trailer regardless of him giving consent to it or not. But now it's really interesting that Blair White is speaking in favor of Shane and is saying that it's all Jeffree, because according to Blair White, Shane showed remorse during the Tati drama. So during the James Tati Jeffree drama, which happened in May, according to Blair, Shane Dawson showed genuine remorse. Now, according to Cassie MUA, when they launched their trailer, which happened in October, according to Cassie MUA, James did not give consent to be used in the trailer, but Shane did it anyways. The only factor that has changed during that period is the involvement of Jeffree Star. If Shane was showing remorse in May, but then not giving a f about James Charles in October, the only difference is that he started doing a series with Jeffree Star. According to Blair, Jeffree Star is a monster. I'm quoting her. Okay, as you guys probably can see right now, I'm still editing. You can see it in the background, high editing. But something recently just came up, and I think it is important that I discuss it because it makes so much sense to discuss this, and it ties in perfectly with the rest of the video that I filmed. So Nikki Tutorials actually decided to speak up against Jeffree Star. Well, not really, but she decided to be a little bit shady and like a comment on her recent video which says, "Sis, drop a makeup brand so we can drop Jeffree Star already," and she hearted the comment, which is kind of shady, like, let's be honest.
So after I saw James Charles recreating his followers' makeup looks, I was like, that's what I want to do too, to be able to use my platform and get other names out there. Because Lord knows this community needs some new names.
And she also shaded him again when someone said, "No one, nobody, not even Jeffree Star, Nikki, Villainous Shoulders Tutorials."
Hello guys, it's me, Villainous Shoulders Tutorials.
Miss Nikki, yes, we stand. But I think it ties in perfectly because actually Sanders Kennedy decided to expose voice memos, which perfectly ties in with the next section of the video. Back to editing. I think it is important that we discuss everything.
Yeah, I don't
So
think I can
Sanders
read
Kennedy
channel.
leaked voice memos of Jeffree Star a few days ago, and they're very, very telling. So of course, all credit to Sanders Kennedy, who actually spoke to Jeffree Star at this time, and Jeffree Star provided him with voice memos, and they are pretty dark. He talks about his ex-friends, and he talks about Nikki Tutorials, Manny MUA, Laura Lee.
People start drifting and people start ignoring me and not appreciating all I've done for them, and they start getting really big heads, and people get in their ears, and who knows, money, a little bit of fame, these kids go crazy, and it's like, I'm an OG, I'm a veteran, I've been doing this for so long. People have come and gone out of my life all the time. But I've done for them, and to just be completely disregarded and not even say happy birthday publicly and just disrespect me on so many levels is like shocking. So I've been going through like a breakup mentally, and just trying to deal with how sick and these children are. But I don't know if they've said anything to any channel. I know that they're so far that Here for the T-Girls, it gets really, really annoying. They love it. They need the views and the attention. So I'll be in my corner staying mute until the time is right. But if you know anything, let it. I know that there's so many rumors, and I'm surprised that they're still following me. So just so you know, there was no fight. There was no craziness.
What is it?
Completely random. But you know the Samyang noodles that are called the tteokbokki ones? And you know it's my weird goal to try all the Samyang noodles. Anyway, they have little Naruto cakes in them.
Oh.
So technically, you could probably eat these noodles, but not the spice packet. If we do get them.
Yeah.
And you can try Naruto cake.
Yeah.
Maybe we should order some.
I believe the Naruto cakes come in little chubs.
Yeah, and you slice them. I'll look it up, okay?
Yeah.
Because I know you've always tried Naruto.
They just started to switch up and get really shady. So I'm still following them because I don't hate them and I don't have any ill will, and it's really, there was no like fight. Like that's what's so weird. Normally, like Nikki Tutorials on the island, baby, there was a mother fight. But with these people, no, like there's no excitement. It's just shadiness and being evil. So,
Okay, I think I got to the point here. We wanted to talk. We mainly wanted to focus on Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson's shady business.
Yeah.
And how fucked up everything has been going. Like how Shane didn't bother to go over the topics that he didn't really go over in his apology. And then there's Jeffree Star pulling all that bullshit that he's doing.
Are you guys still alive?
Yes, we're still live. There's no camera. You can walk through.
Can I borrow your red headphones?
If you can find them. If not, you
They're
can take
not
these
in
back.
here. They're not in here.
What do you say?
I don't know.
You can take this back when I'm done.
Just be patient, okay?
Anyway.
I can't hear my friend on the phone. There's reasons why.
Oh, anyway, guys, I think that's all we have. So before I end this off, I'm going to talk about our merch in the store. So, guys, we actually have a lot of awesome merch.
We need to check the merch. We still haven't transferred the money in and send it to COVID-19.
Yeah, but I was going to wait till every 100 we do.
Okay, well, we need to explain that to them that no, we have not taken any profit from it.
No, we do not take profits. All the money to this store actually goes to COVID-19 research and or other researches such as cancer.
Why don't you show them that that's all still there? Or will that give away sensitive information of ours?
I don't want to put out that too much information yet. So, we have the powdered milk tea, we have the crack weed tea, we have the We Want to Be Included t-shirt, we have the Queen of Toilet Paper tea, the Conservative tea, the Honorable Ferals teas, we also have Suck My Cherries, the Galaxy, let's see, there's also other stuff. We also have other merch such as the Breast Milk Scarlet merchandise, many other designs with similar logos. We also recently released a new logo. Hold on a moment. I have to scroll all the way down to get there. Oh yeah, we also recently released Irrational Thinker merchandise. So, if you guys want to get them, they're in the link is in the description. You can buy them.
And they're not going away, or they shouldn't go
away. Hey, if you have kids, we got baby clothes too. So, get them while they're hot, guys. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you later. Bye. No, I gotta go.